This is Katrin with Disability Rights New York. Welcome to our podcast, Empire State of Rights Closed Captioned. We are here to bring you information on the most relevant topics regarding disability rights and advocacy. Today we welcome Dr. Donna Walton, the founder and president of Divas with Disabilities, and Shameka Andrews, a Global D.I.V.A ambassador, to discuss the Divas with Disability Project, DWD, its mission, and its available resources. Donna, Shameka, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Donna, can you start by telling us what the phrase divas or DIVAS represents, and what is the vision and the mission of the Divas with Disabilities Project?
Sure. Thank you. Well, again, I want to say thank you for inviting me to this wonderful podcast today. The Divas with Disabilities Project, DIVA. So DIVA stands for Dynamic, Illuminating, Victorious, Achieving Sisters. And it was created to give more meaning to what diva meant, because we really wanted to clarify that diva didn't mean the standard, what diva sometimes represent, but that we could be divas if we wanted to be. And so we wanted to just show that we are dynamic, we're illuminating, victorious, achieving women, of course, but sisters, and because the sisters signifies the community that we have.
And I love that. So we're taking a word that oftentimes, I think contextually gives women, there's a negative connotation in regards to women. So I love that you're taking it back and you are infusing it with empowerment, which is wonderful. So let's talk about the vision and the mission. It's an amazing name. Let's talk about the amazing things that you all do.
Absolutely. So the actual mission of it is just that, is to amplify the voices, the images of Black and brown women who were often left out of storytelling, of film, of TV, in mass media. So our mission is to amplify the voices and images of Black women and to promote them on various media platforms. So our vision is to see more Black and brown women represented throughout mass media. Because again, our images, we don't want our images to be erased from American culture. And so the whole idea of Divas being actually created was sort of born out of this community it was a digital campaign. We wanted to be just sort of coalesce around the lived experiences that we all talk about, we feel that we live every day. And it grew from a digital movement until now it's a nonprofit organization that has many initiatives, because there was such a need. There was a cry, if you will, for these topics and for our stories to just be told. And then also the community, the camaraderie of knowing that there's someone who validates your story, who gets it.
And so you said that it started out as a digital campaign. Was there a story of origin for this? Was there a moment or a time where something happened that you said, I need to start making this change, and started to bring people in from your community to do this? Was there a defining moment that brought that to fruition?
Yeah, I think you could look at it that way. When we were meeting we started as a Facebook group page. And so stories that were talked about mainly grew out of my story, and that I lost my leg to a bone cancer over 40 years ago. There were no images. There were no stories. There were no representation of, what my life could look like if I wanted to pursue acting. And that was my dream. And so when we came to this Facebook group page, there were many women who were having the same aspiration, who were not actually seeing any of this, their life coming to fruition, their dreams being actualized. So it became a movement where women, we would talk about, did you go out for an acting role? Did you get it? And the barriers that existed. So I would say that that's how it sort of grew, and the movement became, now there were many women around the globe now who were experiencing this same issue of going out for roles, wanting to be cast, but never being picked up. And always centering around the fact that the disability. It was always about the disability. And then we looked at Hollywood, what Hollywood was doing, and that it was casting non-disabled actors to play disabled roles.
And so A lot of what you're talking about is very in the forefront of media right now, right? Like we're talking about intersectionality, seems like every day there's more awareness to not only that word, but what it means, and making the connection between women who are not only having to look at their life in a way that maybe something has changed and they want to see what their life could be like and come to fruition, and meet women who are in fact going through the same thing, is so incredibly powerful for you to be doing this at this time. And as you said, this is global. We're doing this podcast in New York State, but you are a global force. So talk about that just a little bit. This is not a short reach. This is a very wide reaching movement.
Absolutely. And that's what made it even more powerful when we saw the number of women around the globe. And when I speak of around the globe, I'm speaking about in Africa and other continents, in Japan. So the need was everywhere. Women who wanted to model, but their bodies were being told that they were not beautiful. So the whole campaign of beauty transcended globally because women, we feel the same way. We all have that emotion around being rejected, being accepted because of our bodies, our different bodies. And so Divas was able to embrace that and capture that. And again, it really did start as this sort of communication on Facebook. It started off as women coming together. I would jump on and I would notice that more women wanted to join the group. And then, like I said, it morphed from just women to I saw that there was a need for Black and brown women because in particular, we were not being included and our stories were not being told. And so it doesn't exclude white women, but it just says that, this is a subpopulation of women who don't get the space and voices as other, cultures, as other races. We just don't.
And seeing that representation is important, especially when we're talking about the next generations, right? And we have young women everywhere who don't see themselves represented. And if there's a certain type of image that keeps getting pushed towards them, then that's what they believe is somewhat ideal. And I think you're 100% right. We as women share this feeling of, well, this is what we see, right? And I do think we're at a time now where we're seeing a huge culture shift so that image is not really what we're looking at anymore.
Yeah. And also, and I'm sure Shameka can definitely speak to this in terms of the advocacy and the activism around ensuring that our voices are being heard and our images are being reflected. Because every time that there's a story, we want to see ourselves. I would think women, we gain empowerment, we gain self-esteem, we gain self-confidence, self-efficacy. All this is gained through the examples that we see. So the more examples we can see, the more representation we see, that gives us the power, that gives us the confidence. And that's not happening. So we wanted to change that. And like I said, Shameka can certainly talk to that piece more.
Absolutely, Shameka. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And Shameka has been a guest on our podcast a couple of times now, and we love speaking to you. And it's great that you are also involved in this. Let's talk a little bit about what projects and programs that DWD is currently working on.
Yes, definitely. Well, I am a part of the Global D.I.V.A Ambassador Program, which is part of DWD, which Donna has talked a lot about. We have divas representing all over in different continents, all over New York State. It's all about reflecting and advocating for initiatives based on the Diva State of Mind initiative, which is all about empowerment of the mind, but also the state in which you live in. So we're empowering women all over the world, the globe, all over the globe. So that's the program that I'm a part of, and I'm doing advocacy here in New York. My main project right now, we're going to be launching a website for people that are LGBTQAI resources because again, having that representation, not only women who are Black and brown, but also women that are Black and brown and also LGBT. So in this past year, in the work that I've been doing, another subgroup, another intersection that has really kind of come to the forefront. So we're really going to be doing some more work in that area. Divas also has a film festival coming up. Donna mentioned lots of the women that are involved in Divas, want to get into acting, want to see that representation. So we're going to have our own film festival in July. So I'm looking forward to that and actually, seeing films and seeing the representation of the people that are working so hard.
Shameka, can you tell us a little bit more about the film festival? Is it going to be 100% online this year? Is it something that you will be moving to being in the public space soon? And you said it's in July, so we'll definitely try and put the link to it in the description of the podcast, but give us a little bit more information about this. This is a great thing for us to share.
Yes, I know Donna has been working really hard on it. We're going to be online this year, and hopefully sometime in the future, we will be in person. We're going to be going through StreamYard. Is that correct, Donna?
That is correct.
Yes, and we're partnering with 100 Shades of Disability is the organization.
That is correct.
And I believe the date is July 23rd.
It is July 23rd. And so, Shameka, thank you for sharing, sort of starting that off. We're in the sort of developmental stages of it. So basically, the film festival will take place on July 23rd. It will be streamed on all of our Facebook platforms, Instagram, of course, and YouTube. And it's going to focus on, it's 3 films that are being featured. And these films are about women with disabilities and for women with disabilities. And they're also directed by, which is interesting, non-disabled and disabled filmmakers. And so that's what's making it so interesting. He's going to have a panel discussion to talk to these filmmakers who are not disabled, who yet chose to be able to include the topic of disability in their subject, in their film. So we're really looking forward to this. It will be 3 hours. It'll take place at 7 p.m. or stream from 7 p.m. to 10. We will definitely make sure you get the links and the advertisement promotion, because we love for individuals to check us out.
Well, we are looking forward to it. And Shameka, let's finish up talking about your role as a Global Diva ambassador. As you said, you're here in New York State. How does that translate globally for you? And if there are people that are interested in joining DWD, what positions might be available to them and how can they apply?
Yeah, they can definitely, reach out to Donna and talk about, it was all about sharing how I can contribute here in New York to the mission of Divas and promote that here in New York, or, promoting it wherever you are. I, like Donna has said, I have always been of the mindset that people with disabilities need to be at all the tables. So that's always been my mission. No matter what table we're talking about, we need to be a part of the conversation. And that's always been a part of my work here in New York, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm talking to legislators or I'm talking to school teachers or I'm talking to, homeless shelters, making sure that we are always a part of the conversation. We are always at the table, no matter what. And that's what I've always advocated for. And like I said, the work of being a person that is LGBT and seeing how more work needs to be done in that area, because being Pride Month this month, we're still in June, and the difficulty would still, even though it's Pride Month, having that intersection of disability still makes you disenfranchised. Even though you're part of this big Pride celebration, whatever, making sure that that is welcoming and accepting and accessible to people with disabilities still needs to be worked on. So that's what, like I said, a lot of my focus through Divas support I will be continuing to work on here in New York.
We can't wait to hear more about what it is that you're doing. And as more people are getting to know the Divas Project, let's just talk, Donna, a little bit about how someone can learn more about the Divas with Disabilities Project and support it. You said you're a nonprofit. Obviously, in order for you to do this great work, you need to have support. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So yes, support is extremely important to help us sort of move forward some of the initiatives that we have in the pipeline that we're not able to really sort of, promote as much because they need to be funded. But I'll speak to what Shameka talked about in terms of getting in touch if you want to be a Global Diva ambassador. You can certainly go to our website and there is a link for Global Diva Ambassador to become a Global Diva Ambassador. You can click the link and it will take you to a small application, if you will. They're going to get some information why you're interested in becoming a Global Diva Ambassador. And we will be following up with you and assigning you to your projects, if you will. So that's one way to become involved with the Global Diva Ambassador program. Otherwise, if you want to donate to the Divas with Disabilities Project, you can certainly, again, go to our website, divaswithdisabilities.org, and there's a donate support us button there. We are looking for allies and support all the time. So our website is very robust. We're in the process actually of building a new one. And so that we'll actually connect with partners more so, because partnerships are extremely important. And we are really sort of moving up in terms of getting some great partners in Hollywood. For example, we have the Disney TV animation division that partners with us because we're serving as their resource, if you will. Yes, for divas to star in roles. So we get a lot of casting calls. So our website will serve as that sort of reservoir of just resources. If individuals are looking for an acting role, you can go to our website because we have partners who are seeking to diversify, to make sure that there is full inclusion. And so we're really pleased about some of our partners that we have joined the Divas with Disabilities Project, help us move forward. The whole initiative of diversity and inclusion and making sure that disability is a part of that. And that is really important. So just basically the website, we're on all platforms. You can find us on Instagram at Divas with Disabilities, of course, at Facebook, Divas with Disabilities Project, and of course, Twitter, Divas with Disabilities. So we're easy to find, but I would hope that we're easy to find. And we're just really trying to still grow our membership. And so right now we got incorporated as a nonprofit organization in 2017, but we've been at this since 2012. And so we're growing. And, my vision is to hope that it's over, oh my goodness, millions. I want to shut down the internet sometimes, I want to go viral. I can't wait until we are able to, hire social media directors and managers and someone or individual who actually gets it and will put us into another hemisphere. Because I know that our mission, our vision, and our cause is extremely valuable. And I'm sure we're probably only touching the surface in identifying those individuals who would want to join our movement.
Really exciting to hear all of the work that you are doing. And we will drop all the links in the description of the podcast so we can cross promote for you. And certainly we hope that we're able to have you back again to talk to you a little bit more about anything you'd like to talk about concerning the Divas Project. Is there anything else that Shameka, you or Donna would like to talk to us about before we close out today?
Like Donna said, visit the website. Divas has our monthly
Diva Calls. Yes, I forgot. Yes, thank you. That's really significant. Yes.
Yes, we have the Divas Calls where we talk about different topics so people can get involved with listening into those. If they so wish, there's lots of great conversation on those and great resources. There's great resources on the website. And like I said, in the coming months, we'll be working on a website for resources for those in the LGBT population. So you can look out for that as well. Yeah, and just keep in touch. So feel free to reach out and love to have you. And like she said, spread the word.
Exactly. Thank you. And how can I forget our Diva Calls? Those are very significant. Those were the sort of the cornerstone of our work, where we have monthly calls. We have different guest speakers ranging from topics to growing, older or aging with a disability to, the sexual and dating issues. And we're always looking for guest speakers. So that is really important. I don't know how I could forget that. And then also seeking volunteers. So if you're looking to volunteer, please go to our website and express that interest through our, send us an email at info@divaswithdisabilities.org, and we'll be happy to bring you on as a volunteer.
And just to clarify, you're looking for volunteers across the spectrum.
Across the spectrum. I mean, the skill set is across the spectrum. I mean, no skill set will be overlooked. That's for sure. Because we have work to be done in terms, like I said, not only the social media, the technology aspect of what we do, but we want to build initiatives. We need to do a lot of outreach. That is really significant. Now that we are able to go out more, my goal is to go out now and meet face to face with some of the organizations and do a lot more outreach and marketing that way.
Well, we look forward to seeing what you all are doing next. Thank you both so much for being on the podcast today, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Empire State of Rights Closed Captioned has been brought to you by Disability Rights New York, your source for disability rights and advocacy. If you enjoyed our program, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this post. If there is a subject you would like us to discuss, please email podcast@drny.org or comment below. Tune in next Wednesday, where we'll bring you more information on disability rights in the state of New York. The closed captioned and ASL version of this podcast is available on our YouTube channel. To listen to more Empire State of Rights closed captioned, follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.